Rooftop, I'm David Tian, Ph.D, and in this video I answer the question, when she doesn't know how she feels about you. Welcome to Man Up, episode 169.
Masculinity for the intelligent man. I'm David Tian, Ph.D, and this is Man Up!
Hey, I'm David Tian, Ph.D, and for over the past 10 years I've been helping hundreds of thousands of people in over 87 countries attain success, happiness, and fulfillment in life and love. And here we are in Bali still. This is Jimbaran, looking towards the sunset. You got the surf, you got some people surfing, you got the beach. It's a very nice resort here. It's called Double Six. It's a nice rooftop bar and lounge here. We got a table. So just shooting before we have some drinks. So in the private Facebook group for Man Up, by the way, you should join that group. Click the link, join the group. In the group, Noah asked the question, and it's like a paragraph, so I'm going to read it, most of it. Hey guys, so this is my first post and I'm not really sure what to expect, so I've got this close friend, she's super smart and hot as fuck. The type of girl who I would totally want to be with. I have a tendency to be into crazy or unstable girls for whatever reason, but this girl isn't like that. Okay, so let me just pause. It's better if I just do it interlinear, so to speak. I have a tendency to be into crazy or unstable girls for whatever reason. Here's the reason. It's because that's something that you're lacking in your own life and you want to have that in yourself. We're attracted to whatever we don't have, but we want. You feel like for whatever reasons, you're too hemmed in by your life or your circumstances, and that's what you're responding to right now in your life. A lot of guys who get into pickup, they're into it, they suddenly discover that being sexy, that being adventurous and risk-taking is sexy, so they start to get attracted to that energy in the feminine and the females, and they're like, why is my life so full of drama now that I've gotten into pickup? Well, one of the reasons is because they keep selecting women they keep responding to women who have that part of them as natural parts of them that they don't have in themselves, like the dudes don't have in themselves, but that they realize that they're lacking and that they want. And then when they get a little bit of it, it's like a drug. They get a little bit of that wild lifestyle and they get addicted to it, but they're not natural with it yet, so they're still looking for it in other people. It's sort of like the fact that I am like an intellectual academic for most of my life means that I don't get as excited about it when I find it in other people, because first of all, it's pretty common. Through most of my 20s, I was surrounded by people like that. And secondly, it's not something that I lack in my life, so I'm not naturally drawn to it on a sexual level. So that's just an example of how we are drawn to sexually attracted to energies that we lack in our lives, but that we want. The weird thing is if you don't come to terms with that later on when you get into a relationship with that kind of energy, it's also something you've disowned in your past, that if you haven't come to terms with it, you'll end up disowning that energy in your partner. It's a deep, deep concept. I covered this in more detail in a course called Rock Solid Relationships, which I've only been teaching live so far for the past few years, and we're getting ready to release it online. But anyway, there's a lot more to be said about that. The disowning of previous energies in yourself, because what'll happen is, as you get into a relationship with this type of woman who is crazy and unstable, is anybody who's sane and rational will be like, that's a recipe for a bad relationship. You don't want to be in a relationship, long-term, committed, exclusive relationship with anybody who's unstable. But it will also be, you'll be turned off by it later on, because a part of you, a very strong part of you, disowned that in yourself earlier in your life. And unless you come to terms with it, which is like years of almost therapy or counseling or really deep like psychological reflection and working out of that layer of your life, unless you do that hard work, you're still going to be reacting to that as you are now, because it seems like you really don't understand why you're attracted to that. And you did another throwaway comment. So for the guys who watch Man Up and been following along, you'll notice that these throwaway comments, the comments that guys who are writing the questions don't think are a big deal, but actually are from an analyst point of view, these are the throwaway comments that tell us everything we need to know, right? So this is another example of a throwaway comment that is very insightful. Moving on though, and she knows I want something more. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped something. Okay, but this girl isn't like that. So you have a tendency to be into crazy or unstable girls, but this girl isn't like that. We've hooked up a few times, nothing major, just feeling her up and shit. This is how dudes talk, right? And she knows I want something more. I think she feels the same way, but she's expressed to me that she usually fucks up relationships and that she doesn't want to ruin the friendship. You say she's not crazy and unstable, but the shit you're saying right now sounds to me like she draws crazy and unstable into her life. So maybe you're not in relation to the other crazy and unstable girls you've been dating. She's not crazy and unstable, but she sounds pretty crazy and unstable right now. But she's expressed to me that she usually fucks up relationships and she doesn't want to ruin this friendship. friendship. She also says, I had a sip of this Long Island, so it's like I'm a little bit inarticulate right now. She also says she doesn't know how she feels about it, meaning me, yet. I've been trying to just be low-key and not push it, which I think is the right call, but I want to know if there's anything else I should or shouldn't be doing. My goal is to end up dating her. Thanks for reading. Okay, here's the hard, I'll give you the hard truth and then a how-to, okay, or like prescription for what to do next. The hard truth is she's not attracted to you enough. Look, dude, if Brad Pitt or whoever the hot guy is now, Ryan Gosling or whatever, was like her friend and into her, do you think she'd be like, hey, you know, I'm not sure, I don't want to ruin my friendship with Ryan Gosling, I don't want to take it any further. Like, fuck no, dude. She's gonna throw it out. She's gonna, with abandon, just throw out all these plans and go for it. And right now, you're not turning her on enough for her to just abandon all the shit and go for it, take that risk. So right now, you're in the friend zone. This is one of those situations where unless there's a reason why you're just friends still, over time, unless you go further with it and progress that relationship, and there's no other reason, like there are reasons, you need barriers to maintain that friendship and that sexual tension. I'll give you some examples. If one or both of you are in a relationship, that's an easy barrier for why you can still be friends and not consummate it sexually, but do it later on down the line. Another one is maybe your work colleagues. Or maybe there's a power relationship like teacher-student or boss-secretary or something like that, right? There's got to be some other barrier. If there are no barriers and you don't hook up, just the magic of time is that time itself kills the tension. And that's what's happening. That's what's happened here, I suspect. Even though you kind of felt each other up, because you weren't able to progress any further and you're like, okay, no, time itself disintegrates the sexual tension. It sounds, I don't know how long ago this was when you guys were feeling each other up and stuff, but it's still salvageable if that's the case, like if it wasn't too long ago. My goal is to end up dating her. Thanks for reading. I want to know if there's anything else I should or shouldn't be doing. Okay, so if you actually want to progress this further, you got to consider yourself as being in the friend zone, but not like, it's not ruined yet. Now you have to actually step up. So you're like, I don't want to push it. Wait till she makes a decision. That's not a masculine role, all right? You don't want to pressure her in the sense of like, make a decision, bitch. But then again, you do need to lead. You need to lead. You can't lay back and let her lead. So you need to take that initiative, move things forward. And this could just mean there are lots of ways of escalating the relationship. You could do it physically by just pushing it further than just feeling her up, so to speak. You could, you know, I don't need to explain what that is, but progress further physically. You can progress further verbally. Tell her more about what you like about her. So appreciate her verbally. Tell her explicitly the things about her personality that you appreciate, so she knows in her conscious and unconscious mind why you like her. Okay, that's an important part. It's not just her body. It's not just in the moment that you've just, because you're drunk or whatever, but that there's a reason for it. And you can also progress it verbally in terms of connecting deeper on an emotional level. And you can also progress it further in terms of your social circles. That's another way of progressing it further. There's another way of progressing it further is in terms of relationship patterns. Like you could go grocery shopping and cooking together. That's something that couples usually do. You could go on trips together, vacations, or holidays together. That's something that couples do as well. That's progressing the relationship. There are lots of ways of escalating the relationship or progressing the relationship that you need to do now. You need to take the leadership role and move it forward. It's her job as a woman to say, oh, no, you've already, this is my comfort zone, that's as far as I'll go and no further, right? Right now you're in limbo, you're in like purgatory, you don't really know if it's in or not. So you have to push it to find out where that limit is. And then, here's the secret, take it one little step further. That's the leadership role. You take it to where her comfort zone is, and then see if she will follow you out of that comfort zone into the next stage. Because right now, she says she doesn't want to risk the friendship, she doesn't want to risk anything. That's a very dangerous place for you to be in. Because if she doesn't want to risk it, then the natural thing to do is to stay there. She's going to stay there forever. There's no reason right now for her to leave the friend zone with you. She's got everything she wants with you right now. Make out when you're drunk and shit, and then get all the comfort of having friends. So if you want something more, you're going to have to push it further and force her to a point of decision, yes or no. Okay? Otherwise, you're a pussy. She's not going to respect that shit. So many guys are so feminized right now because of the politically correct bullshit culture that they're too afraid to step up and progress and lead. All right, so there's your how-to. But right now, you don't think you're in the friend zone. You're in the fucking friend zone. Well, you're not in like dead friend zone, like it's like fuck it forever and you gotta like disappear, but you're definitely over the line in friend zone, but you're close to the border, so you can still get out. All right, so there you go. I gotta get to these drinks. My throat's getting parched, the food is getting cold. Got to hit that. Here's the sun. It's a beautiful sunset. I'll leave you with that. And the sun light over the water. It's just a beautiful thing. Beautiful sunsets in Bali. And join the private Facebook group. You can see Noah's question there. There's a good comment thread in there. And I pick questions from the private Facebook group. And I interact personally with the guys in there. So I'll see you inside the private Facebook group. Click the link, join the group. I'll see you inside the group. Until then, man up.